I finally saw it. The movie everyone had been waiting for almost 15 years. Actually, it's leading into 20 years now. We've been we've been waiting for this for a long time. I saw a Minecraft movie today in theaters. Just came back from it, and honestly, I was kind of worried about this movie. I mean, I've seen so many I've seen a lot of things online ever since it came out saying the Minecraft movie's bad. The Minecraft movie is actually pretty bad. Well, here's to everyone who said that it was super bad. You're probably going to be really mad at me when I tell you this. Well, I saw the movie, and what did I think of it? I loved it. It did everything I hoped it would, and a whole lot more. But it wasn't perfect. There were some things that could have been a little bit better. I'm going to start out without doing spoilers, then I'll go into spoilers. But I honestly don't think I should. The movie's been out for a month now. I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it. Alright, so my initial thoughts, good movie, could use some improvement, but overall, good. I really like this. I was not one of those haters when the trailer first dropped. When the trailer first dropped, I didn't know what to think of it. Because here's the thing. When I heard Jason Momoa was going to be in a Minecraft movie, I thought he was going to play Steve. And honestly, I think Jason Momoa would have made an awesome Steve. But whenever Jack Black is on screen, he is kind of the better Steve in this. The lighting in this place is weird. One sec. Just... What's that? There. Is that better? Okay, good. Jack Black kind of stole the show as Steve. The lighting's still... is that... Okay. Yeah, you know what? Screw the lighting. Yeah, I was kind of ready. I was ready to see this movie. And as you can tell, I got all dressed up for it. And what can I say without going into spoilers? The world looks beautiful. There were some, I mean, it did look a little bit cartoony and not real, but I guess I didn't know what else to expect. It's a Minecraft world. I didn't know what else to expect from it. Yeah, the villagers and pillagers look really cool. I mean, the clothes don't even look like CGI, and really that's because they aren't. The heads and arms do look kind of CGI, but it kind of fits with the whole atmosphere. I will say, it is still weird to see humans in a Minecraft world. But here's the thing. I actually predicted that. Kind of. In 7th grade, I wanted to write my own Minecraft book that would feature Steve, Alex, and Jesse from Minecraft Story Mode. Except they would all just be regular humans inside a Minecraft world, but it would just look like the game's Minecraft world, not like this. So I kind of predicted this unintentionally. I'm sweaty. You guys. Anyway, so when I went to see the movie, I went in with no expectations. I was a little worried about when the whole chicken jockey thing would come up. I'm not spoiling anything. It was in the trailers. It's been memed since the trailers came out. I was worried everyone was going to make a huge mess, and I figured. I would have walked right out of the theater if that happened, because I went there to watch a Minecraft movie, not to make a mess. Thankfully, no one made a mess. So yeah. What else can I say without going into spoilers? Oh, Jason Momoa was pretty funny. Was weird to see him play a non scare a non serious character though. But he tried his best to be serious. Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, one of the best characters in the movie. Yeah, and the villain, the piglin, which I forget her name. She's pretty entertaining. She and they actually, we actually are seeing why she hates creativity, and I can kind of see that. There were some scenes in this movie that that kind of took me out of it a little bit, but but I'll go on that in spoilers. There's Dennis the Wolf is absolutely adorable. I really did not expect to know how the Tesseract ended up. I did not expect what they did with the Tesseract thing. I honestly thought there was more than one Tesseract. That's how, like, Steve got into the Minecraft world with his Tesseract, and then Don, Nat, Henry, and Garrett went in with their own Tesseract. I was wrong. It was just one Tesseract brought into the real world by Dennis the Wolf, and everyone was confused. By the way, everyone was confused why all the piglins didn't zombify. Here's the thing. We all thought this movie was adapting Minecraft Legends, which would make sense. That's the only way. That and Dungeons are really the only way Minecraft has its own storyline. But no, we were actually completely wrong. Screw spoiler section. I can't talk about this movie without spoilers. I'll go into spoilers now. Actually, first I'll give it a rating. I'm gonna piss a lot of people off. 8 out of 10. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. And because of a few scenes that kind of took me out of the film. Anyway, 3, 2. Anyway, spoiler alert. 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. I'm entering. You've been warned. Okay, so the movie opens up with Steve talking about how he went into the Minecraft world. As a child, he wanted to go mining. For some reason, he wanted to go mining. I don't know. But we cut 2 years later, and we see him in an office, with the same blue shirt and pants, just working with taxes, I guess. Although the way he remembered that he wanted the way Steve remembered he wanted to go to the mine was he made a mine shaft out of potatoes. that was freaking hilarious. Yeah, this is Jack Black's movie. He absolutely this was his movie. And yeah, this movie was made for him, which makes sense because apparently Jack Black is really passionate about Minecraft. I mean, I knew Jack Black was passionate about rock and roll, but I did not think Minecraft. I didn't put it past him, but it did surprise me. Jack Black is full of surprises. Jack Black, if you're watching this video, don't grow up. You are perfect the way you are, dude. And I salute you. Anyway, Steve returns to the mines with only a helmet and pickaxe. I feel like going into the mines, I feel like you should have more than just a helmet. Because it's not just your head that needs protecting. You should like wear like I don't know, like pads or something. Like pads or like safety gear. I mean, they've got the vests, but those are just to be seen. yeah, yeah. So Steve goes in, makes it past the old miner, and finds the tesseract. He he puts it puts the tesseract in the jar thing and goes into the Minecraft world through a blue Nether portal, which I found really cool. And he entered the Minecraft world, which looks absolutely beautiful. One thing I did find weird about the Minecraft world, a lot of the sheep in this world are pink sheep. Pink sheep are supposed to be really rare. I wonder why. So that's one thing that kind of took me out of the movie. I do not know why there were so many pink sheep. Who cares? It's a Minecraft movie. They could make it, but it did kind of take me out of Minecraft. It didn't feel Minecrafty enough. Is Minecraft a real world? Whatever. Steve built his first house out of dirt. He built the second house out of stone and wood, and his third house out of wool. One detail I really liked was that when the bits of wool actually rolled across when the house appeared. Great detail, Mojang. Little particles for wool bits. That's great attention to detail. There's a lot of detail was put into this movie. I do not know what the budget was, but apparently it grossed so much it surpassed the budget by like $1 trillion. That was, and deservedly so, by the way. Steve built his. Then Steve adopts Dennis the wolf. Then he goes to the Nether. They actually did something I really liked and found, and kind of felt very very hero-esque. The Piglin witch leader captured Steve and Dennis, and told him to give him the Tesseract. Steve was like, leave my dog alone, take me instead. But she was just like, no, we're going to take both of you. Now give me that Tesseract. And she had her plans to turn the overworld into the Nether, which there's actually a mod for that. That can actually happen in game, so cool. Steve doesn't escape the Nether, but he does get Dennis to take the Tesseract back into the real world and hide it, essentially leaving him trapped in there, which felt very, very selfless, and I love that about him. And we actually get to see the piglin actually become zombified piglins when they enter the overworld, which I didn't think that was going to be in the movie. It's really cool. When they entered, in the real world, we're introduced to Garrett, who enters an auction because he's broke and was going to get evicted from his GameStop, he wanted to get this what was it called, a 19 something what was it, a Sega Cosmos, but it turns out it was nothing in there. And Garrett was quite angry, understandably. And then we meet Henry and Natalie. Natalie is actually takes on the role of parent to Dennis because their mother died. Dennis, not Dennis. Henry, the role of Henry. Not Dennis the Wolf. She takes on this a job of like a businesswoman in a potato chip factory, and Dennis goes to school. Well, and is in art class. In art class, he's asked to draw a still life, but instead, which is like an orange and a banana, just that everyone draws it except him. He draws a banana with a jetpack. All the kids make fun of him for being that creative, saying it'll never work. But this, like, what, 16-year-old kid literally builds a jetpack out of school supplies and stuff. Out of his school supplies. Nice. And it actually works. But two bullies sabotage his jetpack and it blows up. And it blows up a mascot. And his art teacher, I thought he was going to get mad at him. But instead, he just shouts, I was never here. And then pulls. That was good. Because Natalie is at work, and Dennis has to leave early. Why do I keep saying Dennis? Henry. Henry is his name. Dennis is the wolf. Henry is the kid. Henry calls Garrett to pick him up, and they go back to his GameStop, where they find the Tesseract. Henry puts it together, and it leads them back to, and it leads him and Garrett, and Natalie and Don, who is both a traveling zookeeper and a real estate woman, back to the overworld, we all saw what happened in the trailers and in the leaked scenes. Nightfall happens, they get attacked by skeletons, zombies, and spiders. By the way, the spiders did not look as creepy as I thought, which is a relief to me because I have arachnophobia. Yeah. Anyway, they go, and Garrett digs a hole, and to escape the skeletons, and finds a mine shaft, runs down, and encounters a creeper, who blows up. Henry builds a wood tower to escape the zombies and skeletons with his sister and Dawn, but drops the Tesseract. Garrett runs in and gets the Tesseract, but is knocked aside. And the glass thing shatters, and the portal goes away. Not before Nitwit goes through the portal, and Nitwit's the Green Villager. He goes through and enters the real world. And let me just say, it was so weird to see a villager in the real world. It's happened before with Minecraft Earth, though. Yeah. And then night. Anyway, back in the Minecraft world, night comes up and Steve arrives, having been released from the Nether to get the Tesseract. And by the way, it's called the Orb in this movie. Instead of the Tesseract, it's a Tesseract, not an orb. It's because it's square, not round. I'm just gonna call it the Tesseract because it looks like a Tesseract. Also, it looks like the Tesseract from the Avengers movies. So Steve goes over to so Steve tells them that since the glass part broke, they have to get a new one from the Woodland Mansion, which was a suicide mission. Can I say that on YouTube? YouTube's censoring rules are they're stupid. So they go to supply themselves by one sec, please. Sorry that my brother and dad were talking. So Steve brings them to Mineport Village, where they meet the villagers and the Iron Golems, and bring them to Steve's secret stash, where they get all their gear they need. By the way, Steve let out a sign that said Steve's secret stash, which is just classic. That's the oldest trick in the book right there. It's not a secret if you got a sign. Yeah. Natalie and Dawn get separated from the group and go to find a cartographer, which they find, but the piglins attack, and we actually find out why not. It's because what is going on out there? I forget that. We find out why they're not able to die in this. The reason is because of Netherwart. This is something I find a little confusing, because if it's Netherwart that keeps them from zombifying, why not you just grow Nether? Why don't they send out troops to grow Netherwart in the overworld? Because you can grow Netherwart in the overworld. I've done it in Minecraft. Also, the awkward potions are red now to match the color of Netherwart, which I honestly really like that idea, because it's Netherwart. You mix Netherwart with water. You mix water and something red, it turns it red. Why isn't this in game? Mojang, please get on that. Please make awkward potions red. See. And then General Chungus. By the way, another thing that took me out of the movie a little bit is General Chungus's voice. When you look at him, you think he's going to be like this. You think he's going to be like Hulk, or he's going to be like have a voice like the Hulk, or Morgan Freeman, or Dormammu, like a deep voice, like, "What are you looking at, punk?" Like something like that. Honestly, he just sounds like this hip surfer dude. I just couldn't see it. He was funny, but kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. I really wanted him to. I thought he was gonna sound cool, and he didn't. The witch's voice, I didn't have a problem with. I thought that kind of fit. They go in to retrieve the Tesseract, and General Chungus just comes up to Steve like, "Hey dude, like, sorry I gotta kill you now and take that orb thing, but it's the witch's orders. Sorry dude, I'm gonna have to kill you. Sorry bruh." Like, it was funny, but just I feel like it was really out of place. And Steve was like, "You're not getting this." And Garrett and not Dennis, Henry, Garrett, Henry, and Steve go to fight them, and Garrett takes his buck chuckets. That is a weird word. His nunchuck buckets, and swing around like nunchucks, and hits Steve in the head, and he goes down. He goes to fight General Chungus, and General Chungus beats the crap out of him. I found that hilarious. And we actually found out how Henry managed to make the potato gun. He made it with everyday objects, mixed with Minecraft objects. I really love that idea. I really like that idea. It really showed that you can, really shows that it's like a good blend between real life and and the overworld. Absolutely beautiful. One thing that felt like was kind of missing from the movie in the trailer was the step right this way. That I feel like they could have included that in. Maybe they did, and I'm just misremembering. Steve wakes up and they leave, and he gives them elytra wings to fly off, and Dawn and Natalie find the cartographer, but one of the piglins shoots a villager in the nose and kills them, and they just beat up the piglins using only a shovel and a hoe, a gardening hoe, not forget it. So they fight the piglins and run off, where they actually encounter Dennis the wolf, who came back, and he leads them, and he leads them to Steve. Meanwhile, Steve and the others fly off to a redstone mine to get diamonds. Garrett needs those diamonds because he needs to pay off, because he's broke. But Henry is completely oblivious to this. When they enter the redstone mine, it looks really good, and it's beautiful. And I love how Steve made like a bunch of traps, but he doesn't remember where he put them. And Garrett triggers one of them and just shoots cactus at him. That actually makes a lot of sense, because if you throw a cactus at someone, it actually sticks into them. That should actually be something in Minecraft. You can shoot cacti at people. I really like that idea. But when Henry finds out that they came there for diamonds, he's pretty angry. The witch kills General Chungus for failing, and unleashes the Great Hog, who is honestly a little bit underwhelming. For one thing, he goes through the whole. I mean, there's actually two Great Hogs. The first one, I would be shocked if he's in the movie for more than 2 minutes, because they encounter him and escape on redstone and just blow him up with creepers. I really did not like that, because he looked so cool and had like a cool weapon. And I just felt he was underutilized, and I thought that was it the whole movie. And I thought that was just it. When they escape, Henry is upset with Garrett for what he did, and tells him off. And Garrett admits that he's broke. But they make it to the Woodland Mansion, and they actually have a pretty funny scene where we see Jack Black and Jason Momoa wearing mushroom hats, playing square saxophones, and just singing while Henry runs upstairs and away. And they actually do something pretty, and we actually made it, and then they go into the arena. By the way, when I was playing Minecraft, I've always wondered what that room was with the square wood thing in the middle with the fence posts around it. I always wondered what that was for. I got my answer in this movie. It's for fights. Shame we never get to see them in Minecraft. That would be something cool. And we get to the chicken jockey scene, and thankfully no one made a mess this time. Everyone was like chicken jockey, but one person threw a single piece of popcorn, much to my relief. I'd play the clips of people actually doing it, but I'm not gonna. Anyway, uh, Gar- uh, Garrett fights the chicken jockey, and again gets beat up, and actually tricked by the baby zombie when he starts crying from getting hit in the face, which I liked. But and Steve rescues Garrett, and flings the little zombie outside. Something that I found, and when he got the baby zombie's still alive, but does throw a little bit of a temper tantrum when he loses, and I guess that kind of makes sense. It's a child. We'll say the zombies do look cute in this. I just feel do look kind of cute in this, but they look cute in the game. But the Enderman, oh my god, the Enderman was actually quite scary. Garrett not Garrett. Henry actually finds the thing they need, and brings it, and he brings it to the others, but an Enderman stops him, and Steve tells him not to look him in the eye, and he doesn't. They do something terrifying with him. It like makes him see things that aren't true. It like makes him see things that like all the like negative things that he's heard people say, but coming from his friends. And like we hear Garrett say you got no place in this world, kid. And Steve say, hey, this world's not for you. And then and probably the harshest one is Natalie saying, we're all trapped here because of you. Yeah. And by the way, when Steve is shown saying the demoralizing line, he actually has wide eyes like Herobrine. that's something I found pretty clever. But Henry snaps out of it and kills the Enderman and gains an Ender Pearl. But the piglin show up again and ends up blowing up and tries to blow them up. But Steve and Henry escape. Garrett unfortunately fights the piglin and blows up with the bridge, and we thought he died, because really that much TNT, there's no way a Minecraft character would survive unless you're in creative mode or you've got a golden apple and a beacon of healing or something. And they crash land and are found by they're found by Don and Nat and Dennis in a mushroom house. Yes, and Nat has a touching moment with her brother, but I feel like it could have lasted a little bit longer. It was kind of just like, I'm sorry I did that. I'm sorry I said all those things about you. And then it just ends. It could have lasted a little bit longer. But unfortunately, the piglin witch leader gets her hands on the Tesseract. And by the way, she built another Great Hawk. Like, I guess, are those things like expendable? Not that great if you got more than one on your hand, and that you could build it in such short a time. Yeah, that's another thing that took me out of the movie. Great, when you hear something like Great Hawk, you think it's going to be something amazing, and only one would appear like a boss battle. No, it's not. Anyway, Garrett, Natalie, Don, Henry, and Steve, and Dennis create a plan to fight off the piglins. And they actually did something I really didn't expect with the Iron Golems. When they built the Iron Golems, Henry tried to throw like a pumpkin on them, but instead threw the Boots of Swiftness onto it and created a blue golem with wing, like a super speed golem. I found that absolutely cool. Absolutely cool. And and then we get into like this big war with the piglins. And this was the Minecraft Legends I was expecting the movie to be. Garrett with his potato gun tries to get the Tesseract, but unfortunately fails as he's blasted off by the Great Hog, and he falls. And I was pretty terrified for him. I literally sat there like, oh no, he might die. But he's rescued by Garrett, because, of course he is. Why did I say Garrett in the lineup? He wasn't there at the time. But he did show up and blew up the giant nether portal with a ghast. Everything goes back to normal, and all the piglins start to turn into zombie piglins. Even the piglin witch, she says, "Steve, there's something I got to tell you. She's like, and he's like, no. Steve's like, no, you're gonna kill me. No, I got something. Steve steps closer. She pulls out a knife, brings it up, whacks it out of his hand. And it happens a second time. And she's like, please, for reals, I have something to tell you. She's like, you, come on, no. It's like, no, I don't have a knife this time. As she puts the knife away. By the way, where did that knife come from? It didn't look like any weapon I've seen in Minecraft. Then again, they've also got double-ended battle axes and a spear. The double-ended battle axes were actually in Minecraft in like the early years, but they were turned into regular axes. And they got the Tesseract and are able to leave. Steve said he's gonna stay in the Minecraft world, but changes his mind and goes through with Dennis. And then Garrett reopens his shop, and with a new Minecraft fighter game that they made. Dawn has like her now has her own petting zoo with Dennis and a bunch of different animals. And Steve now works with Garrett. As for Natalie, she actually works in a self-defense class called survival mode self-defense. Good, clever, really clever, Mojang. Then, and as for Henry, he finally got his jetpack to work. Deservedly so. He deserves that. And then the movie ends. That's the end of the movie. So yeah, overall, it was a really good movie. I really loved it. I mean, although of course it's up to you if you want to watch it. I'd highly recommend it, but like I said, it's up to you. Steve. Then one thing I forgot to mention, that Nitwit, the villager that came into the real world, he actually gets hit by a car by the vice principal from Garrett's school. No, not Garrett's school. Henry's school. The kid's name is Henry. Henry, the vice principal, accidentally hits the villager with her car, and takes him to dinner, in hopes that he doesn't sue her. A little weird. And the thing is, her husband recently divorced her, and she actually felt a connection with the villager while at the dinner. Oh, and one of the waiters was actually Jeb, one of the developers of Minecraft. I loved that. And what else happened? Oh yeah, at the end of the movie, there's like this mid-credit scene where her ex-husband shows up and is like, "You dumped me. You really have this guy? You really have this guy now?" And the villager actually starts talking, and he's like, "Well, listen here, listen here. When this woman hit me with her car, I felt love in my heart when I laid my eyes upon her. I now speak English and she now speaks villager. And then he turns to the vice principal and says, Madame, will you marry me? And she says, yes, 1,000 times yes. I kind of wanted to see more of that. That was awesome. Shame it's not in a lot of the movie. And another thing I don't like, a lot of the scenes with the two of them were just them at the dinner. I could have seen, I kind of wish we'd seen a little bit more of her like bonding with the villager and helping out with her, them actually getting to know each other, seeing them build chemistry. That kind of dropped the point a little bit. So yeah, that's all I got. Oh my god, one more thing. While in Mineport Village, they actually come across a pig who's wearing a crown. And one of them says, is that a pig a king or something? And Steve's like, no, that pig's a legend. Yeah, that's a Technoblade reference. Deservedly so. Technoblade deserves that reference. I actually didn't know about Technoblade until after he died, and I feel kind of bad about that. So yeah, overall, I give this movie an out of 10. I lose the 2 points because of things I mentioned. It's still a really good movie, and I recommend it. That's all I got to say. I'm Godzilla. That was a Minecraft movie, and a really good one. See you next time.